Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This time we're checking out Have a Nice Death. This game came out last week on the 22nd of March 2023 after being in early access for about a year. I learned of the game about 6 months ago when a friend of mine sent me a link to it, and the first thing that caught my eye was the artwork. The cartoony design reminded me of some of the cartoons I used to watch when I was a kid, and then looking more into it, I got more and more intrigued. From a gameplay perspective, I guess the best analogy that comes to mind would be if Hades was a 2D game. This would be Have a Nice Death. So, as I'm sure you could tell by now, you play as Death, and the story is that after doing the job for so long, Death decided it's time to delegate the work to some of his top executives, called the Sorrows, and let them take care of the souls while Death takes up the CEO role of Death Incorporated, the enterprise that deals with souls after they die. But in time, the Sorrows began to be careless with their assignments, which meant an exponential increase in souls and as such an exponential increase in paperwork for Death. After reaching a breaking point, Death decides it's time to take the matters into his own hands once again and remind the Sorrows who's boss. As Death, you go around the different departments in the company trying to sort things out and bring the leaders of each department back to an adequate level of productivity and corporate responsibility. At this point, I've only played a few hours of the game, and during this time, I have noticed quite a lot of mentions of different, quote, corporate problems, from employees complaining about the air conditioning not working properly to more severe burnout problems. All of this adds more flavor to the game, of course, since at its core, this is a roguelite. In that regard, the loop of the game is that you will go out and explore different departments in your corporation with the goal of reaching the department head manager, which will be the final boss of that department. As with any roguelike, when failing on your mission, you are returned to your office where you get to use some of the resources you have gathered to permanently improve things for yourself, from new weapons to new abilities and items that you can take with you in your subsequent runs. The game features a plethora of weapons and spells as well as passive abilities that you find in each run. Death can have up to 3 active weapons at a time, and they have their own key bindings, so you can use whichever you want as your main weapon, but there are also certain passive abilities that encourage you to use all the weapons that you have equipped. Death also has a special cloak that charges up throughout your runs, and once the cloak is charged up, you can activate your weapon's special ability. Each weapon has its own special ability, and you can only activate one at a time, but these abilities are quite powerful and will help you a lot, especially since you do get to activate them quite often. Each department has a number of levels, with the last one always being the boss of the department, and the second to last is most often, if not always, a store level, where you get to buy improvements for your weapons or passive abilities. Each department also features a mini-boss encounter, which you can either take or skip, as you do get the option to choose between various rooms in the department that you can visit. So far, I've been having a lot of fun with the game. That's why I thought I'd make a video on it. The controls are very snappy and responsive, the artwork is amazing, and so far, for me, it's been a blast. At the time of this recording, the game is €25 on Steam, and it's also available on Nintendo Switch. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would be much appreciated, and if you want to see more content like this, maybe consider subscribing. Happy gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.